Oh, hi, boys and girls. It's me, Mr. Sunito. Just doing some cleaning around the apartment, you know. Remember this? Mm-hmm. Still works. I hope you're helping your families clean at home and taking care of things. I've got a book for you for today. Do you remember how we read last time Goldilocks and the Three Bears? Well, I've got another version of that book. And it's actually by the same author and illustrator. This one is called The Three Snow Bears, and it's written and illustrated by Jan Brett. So some of the things that you notice that Jan Brett likes to do in this book, you might see in today's book. Let me switch cameras and we can get right to the book. All right. The Three Snow Bears by Jan Brett. Who do you think the characters are in this story? Take a look at the cover. But look carefully. Now, the setting of this story is a cold place called the Arctic, where the Inuit people, like this girl, and polar bears, like the snow bear family, live. The girl's name is Aluki. Let's read to find out in what ways she behaves as Goldilocks did. We'll move this over so you can see everything that's going on here. Look at this. Look at all the activities happening in the Arctic. What do you notice? See that? Do you see the igloo? Yeah. This is the title page because it has the title on it, The Three Snow Bears. And the story really starts on the title page. Aluki is ice fishing. Now, ice fishing is where you cut a hole in the ice to get to the water that is underneath it, and then you go fishing. And do you see these dogs? Those are a special kind of dog. Those are called huskies. They take Aluki places by pulling her there on a sled. And this book is very big. I hope you can see everything. Okay. Here we go. Come back, Aluki shouted as her huskies floated out to sea. Oh no, she knew that although an ice floe is a good place to fish, it is a bad place to lose a dog team. There they go. Not far away, a snow bear family had just started to eat their breakfast, but it was way too hot for Baby Bear. Now, this is the ice floe or the sheet of ice that her dogs, her huskies, were on, but it broke off and it began to float away. Now, remember Jan Brett in the last book, she liked to put a little bit of extra information or some special illustrations on the side. So be sure to look at the side. I'm going to move the camera over a little bit. Be sure to look at the side for a little bit of extra information here. And it says, oh, with thanks to the Brookfield Zoo. And over here, who do you see there? Owie! Yelled Baby Bear. My breakfast burned my mouth. Because it was too hot. We'll go for a stroll and let the soup cool, Mama Bear said. So a stroll would be a walk. So they're going to go for a walk. Who do you see in this large illustration here? Now, while this is going on, notice the smaller illustrations on the side. So over here, look at that. And of course, there's the Huskies. Be sure to look at the smaller illustrations on every page, and I'll help. So you see that. And then it says here, Aluki was running along looking for her dogs when she came upon the biggest igloo she had ever seen. Who lives here? She wondered. And these are igloos. These are homes made out of, what do you think that is? Ice. There are the bears. So we see the bears are not at home. Aluki ducked inside. Right away, she smelled something delicious. Across the room, she saw a big bowl, a middle-sized bowl, and a small bowl. Surely the good smell was coming from the 3 bowls. Aluki took a sip from the biggest bowl. Ow! She cried. Too hot. She took a sip from the middle-sized bowl. Ew! Too cold. She tipped up the littlest bowl and drank every drop. She said. Not too hot and not too cold. Oh, what are they doing? What are the bears doing in this illustration? In the next room, Aluki spotted 3 pairs of beautiful boots standing in a row. She put on the biggest boot. Too big, she said. She put on the middle-sized boot. Too fancy, she said. She put on the littlest pair. Just right, she said, wiggling her toes in the soft fur lining. Do you see that? Very interesting. It says, Aluki walked into the last room and found a long sleeping bench piled high with fur covers. Heat from an oil lamp warmed her cheeks and made her sleepy. Time for a nap, she thought. She crawled under the highest mound of covers. Too lumpy, she grumbled. She tried the middle bed with the furry fringe cover, but sank down so far that she could hardly breathe. Too soft, she said. She rolled over into the smallest sleeping place. The furry blanket was cozy and warm, and the pillow was just her size. Just right, Aluki murmured, and was asleep before she could take off her boots. Now take a look at this. What are the snow bears doing right now? Oh, boys and girls, they're gone. Oh, Oh, but look at the big picture. If Aluki hadn't fallen fast asleep, she might have heard her dogs barking happily. Papa Bear, Mama Bear, and Baby Bear had spotted them adrift in the strong current, the waves of the water, that's the current, and the bears had gone out to save them. The Snow Bear family was pushing Aluki's dog team back toward their igloo and safety. Look at them pushing. They're pushing the dogs back to the igloo. Now, what do you think will happen when the Snow Bears go into their igloo? Uh-oh. Well, there's the dogs, the huskies. Papa Bear crawled into the igloo and saw his big bowl sitting in a pool of spilled soup. "Someone has been tasting my soup," he roared. Mama Bear rushed in and saw that her soup had been sloshed around too. "Someone has been sipping my soup," she growled. Someone found my soup," sputtered Baby Bear in her high, squeaky voice, "and they ate it all up." Papa Bear ran into the next room and saw his boots in the middle of the floor. "Someone has been trying on my boots," he boomed in his big bear voice. Mama Bear put on her fancy boots. "Someone has had these boots on," she huffed, "and the fur is all bunched up." Baby Bear saw that her boots had disappeared. "Someone has taken my boots and left behind these not as good ones," she wailed. Wah! There's the huskies. The bears ran into their bedroom. "Someone has been sleeping in my bed," Papa Bear bellowed. "Someone has been sleeping in my bed too," Mama Bear cried. Baby Bear peeped at her little bed and squeaked, "Someone has been sleeping in my bed, and here she is." Aluki opened her eyes and saw 3 bare noses only inches away. Uh-oh. She hopped out of bed and dove between Papa Bear's huge, furry legs. Look at Papa Bear. Quicker than a seal, Aluki ran from room to room until she burst outside. So she ran outside the igloo. Her huskies bounced around, barking and smiling their doggy grins. Aluki and her dogs flew over the frozen ice, dodging ridges and cracks. She looked back to wave a thank you to the snow bears. She couldn't see them, but she heard a big gruff voice, a middle-sized voice, and a high squeaky voice calling to her. "Bye-bye, bye-bye, bye-bye." The end. All right. Why don't you go get your writing materials? You can get a pencil, your writer's notebook, and some crayons. Pause the video. I'm going to get my materials and let's come back and do some writing. Okay. Are you ready to write? Why don't you start by putting the title of the book at the top of your page? Do your best handwriting. The 3 snow bears. And of course, put your name at the top so I know who wrote the paper. We're going to answer 4 questions, a lot like what we did with the book we did last time. But the answers are going to be different for sure. So, here's your first question. Let's see if I can get this to work here. This question reads, or the sentence I should say reads, the setting is blank, and I want you to finish that sentence. What's the setting of this story? It's definitely not the woods. Do you remember? If you don't remember, go back to the beginning of the book. You can pause the video, or you can keep watching. But here's the second sentence. The characters are blank. Now in this book, we've got some extra characters compared to yesterday's book. Think about it. You can pause the video or keep going. I'm going to keep going. Here's your third sentence. It says, the food she eats is blank. What is the food that she eats in this story? It's not porridge. Again, you can go back and watch the video if you've forgotten, but think about it. I bet you'll remember. And then the last sentence I want you to copy and finish. Here we go. The lesson she learns is blank. What do you think she learns in this story? Okay. You've got some writing to do. You can add a picture about the 3 snow bears at the end, and then send it to me in ClassDojo. I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.